They're the most talented big band in the state. They're the Carlton Jackson Dave Mills Big Band. Try to sit still. Just try.
Why do you guys think you hit it off musically together?
There's a good balance between delegating things. I mean, I'm the mouthpiece, he writes the notes. You know?
Yeah, and we both like the music.
Since you were doing so well with that half of the bar, we're going to give you your 8th note back.
Okay.
Oh, yes, they teach. Carlton does a lot of one-on-ones. He plays with a lot of other bands. Carlton is a longtime member of Terry Robb's Electric Band.
Much better, you guys. I still get a little feeling of insecurity from you there. Just relax and stay with me. Here we are, 4 before beat.
And Dave teaches at Clackamas Community College to beginners.
3, 1.
I asked them to describe each other's role in the band.
His writing is always spot on as far as the material that he's dealing with. I brought him tunes like jazz tunes by different people and said, do something with this, and I'm always amazed at what he does. We play standards in the book that he's adapted, and they always sound fresh. We've played these tunes hundreds of times, and there's always something that reveals itself with the writing.
I try to imagine it, I guess. Try to think about the tune and let it sort of materialize in my head before I sit down and try to do a sketch, and then I'll sketch the form, try to think about who I want to feature when I write it, who's going to play the solos, and then that sort of decides who's going to accompany at that point. You know,
I'm sorry. I'm chuckling because he's so good at this. Now he's so busy, I can't get him to write.
So, what's this guy about?
Well, he's about keeping time and coloring the band. If you miss when Carlton's playing drums, it's your fault. Because he makes it very obvious in a real creative way as to what's coming up. And his time is always good. And so if you play with other bands in town, the question's always who's playing drums. And with this band, you never have to worry about that because the time is always there.
How do you make it obvious?
Being succinct about the musical ideas that you're trying to get out there. Plus, being very athletic, you have to kind of stay on top of these guys. These guys are the best in town at what they do. So they don't let me slack, or they'll run me over like a steamroller. So I have to, you know, big band is traditionally like that for the drummer. It's an athletic event, but hopefully you can get the musicality to come out during this event where you're slugging it out and trying to keep the rhythm going, because it's like a big machine. That's why after all these years we can still have this band. I mean, we've all been in rehearsal bands together and done this in school and come up through the tradition. Our parents listened to this. We were part of the generation that actually got to hear guys like Count Basie and Maynard Ferguson, Count Basie's passed, but Woody Herman is gone. Duke Ellington, I saw him live twice. There's still good proponents of the big band idiom out there, but we were part of that generation that just caught the tail end of the real guys being there, and it kind of firms it up for me when I want to do this, because it's just such a powerful music.
Carlton and Dave have had, traditionally, some of the best musicians in town in this band. For instance, saxophonist Warren Rand.
What happens when you want some guy to stop?
Fortunately in this band, you don't want them to stop because they're good players, and you don't feel like they're going, the arrangements are good, so we don't feel like somebody is going on too long. Usually that falls to me anyway. If it's an open sort of number,
cue out usually.
I'll cue out, and it's a feeling.
What do you do when you cue out?
I'll just look up and I'll say, "We're going." And then I'll see the lead players perk up their heads, and they'll perk up, and all of a sudden people around them feel, oh yeah, we're going on, okay, and we go on to here.
Because the form of the song stays intact while they're blowing, so you can tell where you are.
Yeah, but they're all good. I could go, yeah, and then they just pick right up on it, so.
Yeah, I don't think we ever have that feeling of we want them to stop.
But the natural division of what we do, it's never a fight as far as somebody doing something. I mean, we seem to have our roles pretty much, in focus, even though there's not a lot of us delegating things.
Yeah, we never talked. It's like I do what I think needs to get done, and he does what he needs to do, and we sort of just pick up the pieces as we go.
Right. And then when somebody has to play good cop, bad cop, we're good at that too.
Who's the good cop?
I guess I am.
He is. He's a good cop.
When we shot that story, the band had a regular Monday night thing going at a place called LaRumba. Unfortunately, that club is no more. We can only hope that the band will land another regular club gig soon. But they are appearing with the Oregon Symphony in one of the last Nerve Endings concerts with Murray Sidling. It's coming up January 24th at the Schnitzer Concert Hall. It's called Le Jazz Hot, and it's billed as a steamy evening of Stravinsky and others. And you can bet that Carlton and Dave will be providing the heat.
Steamy, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, those nerve-ending concerts are always great. Thanks,
great.
Tom.
Sure.
One thing that